Celso and Romero have travelled to South America, against Premier League guidance or advice that was coming out last week. So they have travelled to South America, to a red list country, which means they're going to have to quarantine for 2 weeks upon their arrival back in the UK. And it's not just a quarantine, like they have to be at the Spurs Lodge. Apparently they need to go to like a government hotel for 2 weeks with no training.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's absolutely nuts. How can they go? I don't understand how they can go.
It's madness. I get it. They're proud Argentinians, and they don't want to say no to their country, and their country is probably putting pressure on them to go to the games, and especially as well. It's not only that, they're playing Brazil as well.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a game. Celso and Romero, they're going to want to be involved in that, aren't they? They're not going to want to miss playing in the Argentina-Brazil World Cup qualifier. It's a massive game for them personally. I'm reading from Alistair Gold today. There's a bit of a compromise being made, but it's still not great for us. The compromise? The compromise is they're going to go and they're not going to play the last game. So they'll go and play the first 2 games, which includes that Brazil game. Then they're going to miss out and come back early after the second game. However, that still means they're missing 2 games against Palace and Rennes when they come back. It means they could potentially be back for Chelsea and in the squad. But
they can't be back for Chelsea.
No, they can't because they're going to be isolating. They're not going to be able to. Those fitness levels are going to go down
massively. They need to be isolating for 2 weeks on their own in a hotel room.
10 days.
10 days.
Yeah.
On their own in a hotel room. You know what I mean? It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so then more likely it'll be the game after Chelsea. I think that's a Europa League game as well potentially. No, it's the Carling Cup game, isn't it, against Wolves? That they'll be back for. So that's 3 games they're missing, and then.
They're going to be out for the Chelsea game. They're going to be out for the North London derby as well, probably. I mean, this is Romero who's trying to come into a new club, and and it looks like other defenders are playing really well. He needs to win his place.
Yeah, and the problem is not only that they come back for they have 10 days off, right, or isolating, and then they have to get their fitness back up, and then what happens? There's another international break. There's another one. And if they get called up for that, they're going to say no. Then what are they going to do? So, the whole thing's absolute farce. It's ridiculous. These are 2 players who are massive for our team. And it looks like at the moment, I know Martinez and Buendia from Villa, they're going to have the same issue because they're also going. But other teams are stopping their players from going. Yet our players are going on international duty, so we're going to be at a disadvantage compared to our other teams. And look, it's hard to get angry at Celso Romero. I understand where they're coming from.
It's just frustrating, isn't it?
It's completely frustrating. And who am I to say, look, you have to stay club over country. Obviously, my interest is with my club. I don't really care what they do for Argentina. I want them to be available for Tottenham and putting in performances. But from their point of view, for example, Celso, what happens if he says no, and whoever replaces him has an absolute blinder, right, in the game, and then all of a sudden he finds himself out of future squads because he decided to give up his place because he wanted to help out his club. These are things that probably go through players' minds as well, and I get that. But from Spurs' point of view, it's ridiculous. It's such a joke. It's an absolute joke, this whole situation.
And from Romero's point of view, a brand new club trying to fight his way into the team. Sanchez and Dyer playing really well at the moment. He's going to go off to this international break, miss really big games at his new club, and then come back. And by the time he's finished quarantine and getting fit again, he's going to have to go again.
Yeah,
and then if the same thing happens,
and there's a third one as well.
Exactly,
there's 2 more
a third
international
one.
ones.
Exactly.
So we face the prospect of. It depends if the laws change by the international breaks, but we could even potentially be facing the prospect of Romero and Celso not being that available until December.
I know. So Romero's here on a year loan with an obligation to buy, right? And he's a 1 year loan. He's not going to play for the first half of the season.
It's madness. It is madness. This whole situation.
Sign this guy for 55 million.
Yeah, we can't. We're barely going to be able to use him for the first 6 months.